Hi, welcome back to Sassy with a little bit of class. I'm Cara Williamson, and today, well, it's me and Connor's 5-year anniversary next week. So this episode should probably be next week's episode, but we're actually just back from a little couple of days away, and I just thought I'll give you the deets on that, of course, and then we'll just dive right into how to achieve a healthy and happy relationship. Because I feel like I'm basically qualified now. 5 years in the making, you know? So, yeah, let's dive right in. But me and Connor actually went to Aviemore for our 5-year Anna. So while we're in Aviemore, there's like loads of activities you could do. Book in advance, not like me. This was like very like last minute booked, okay? So I managed to get booked in for the quad, and you like go through like a field, you see howling cows, you go through water. The water part was my fave, that was so much fun. There was this poor girl, okay, and she was like really nervous, and she went on her own, right? And I was just kind of like looking at her as if to go like, it's okay, like, you're absolutely fine, gal. Not me like trying to be like, I don't know if she thought I was looking at her and like laughing at her, but I wasn't. I really did feel sorry for her. What a wee shame. It was a husband and wife's business. They were so cute, and then the husband kept like trying to help the girl, and yeah, what a wee shame. I don't even know if she got to see him in kills or not. I think she was just a bit nervous, but I'm like, she done so well, like doing all that and being on her own. Bless her. We then walked back to the meeting point, and me and Carmen were literally right behind her. And I kept going, like, I really just want to say to her, like, how amazing that she done. Like, I just wanted to be like, oh, like, that was so brave. Like, you come in here on your own, blah, blah. And, yeah, but I didn't have the confidence. I kind of want to get better at that, you know? Like, see, when I see someone's outfit and I'm like, oh, like, I want to say, like, oh, I like your outfit or whatever. But then I don't, because I get scared. To be fair, that's because this girl in Starbucks says to me, like, your outfit. And I said, you too. She was literally wearing her, like, uniform. Like, I don't really like a comp. Don't give me a compliment, please. I don't really like them. But I would like to give other people them, but then I feel awkward thinking that I'll make them feel awkward. So I just don't do it. Anyway, when we first got to the hotel, it was kind of like a bad first impression. The door was literally out of the door. No, sorry. The queue was literally out of the door, okay? And we were standing in there for about an hour. There was like 3 or 4 people at the desk, and they were taking ages to check everyone in. And I done like a quick check-in, like I checked in online, so I thought I would just go up, grab my key, like my little door key thing. And that's basically what I did. We were like literally 5 seconds. But everyone else was taking so long. I mean like 15 minutes per person. I'm like, what is going on here? I ended up going up to the desk being like, I've done quick check-in, like, do I need to be here? And they're like, yeah, sorry, this is the queue, this is the fast check-in. I'm like, fast? I've been standing here for an hour, babe. Anyway. The girls on the till were actually really nice, like she was totally fine, and she was giving our information like really quick, and she apologised, and she also gave us a little free room upgrade, thank you very much. Then walking through the hotel, there's like glasses sitting at the side, and they were there the whole time we were there. Like, obviously people had been drinking, it was like, I don't know, tenants, glasses and whatever else, just like kind of lying at the side, and I was just like, We were there for like 3 days, and they were there the whole time. There was cups lying outside overnight for days. It was just like, it just wasn't good, to be honest. It was just like really bad. And they went to the vending machine, put money in there, didn't give us anything to eat. So I thought, no, sorry, that's no £3, right? Not to be a stinge, right? But come on, I'm actually wanting juice and sweets and all that. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, went to the reception, and this guy was like that, like, on this occasion I'll give you it back. I'm like, this occasion? Babe, it's not my fault. You're acting like I'm literally robbing your wage. So literally £3. So yeah, we agreed that he would give me £2 back and he wouldn't give me the 3. I don't know what his problem was. He obviously hated me for some weird reason. And the queue for breakfast was basically the same as trying to check in. It was just bad vibes, okay? I just wouldn't go there again. It was very kiddie as well, a lot of children running about, which was fine. They actually had a little mini Starbucks. Another thing, we had to wait 20 minutes on someone coming to the till, and he actually came around and he was like that, what do you want? And I was like, and Connor was like, I want a coffee. And he was like, well, you're going to have to wait like a couple more minutes because I need to go get staff from the back if you want served. Like, sorry to be a massive inconvenience, but this is a hotel, babe. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, today's ep. Healthy, happy relationship. That's what we're going to be discussing today, okay? I'm going to give you all my tips and tricks because, like I said, basically now qualified. If it was a course, if it was a 5-year course, completed it, mate. Do you know what I mean? First of all, I want to discuss hookup culture, okay? It's just not really a bit of me, you know? Like, I'm a relationship gal. Like, I'm not sharing. I'm not playing this where do we stand. I'm not here to have serious conversations with a little boy that just wants to mess around. No, thank you. It's never, and someone always gets hurt, right? All my friends are basically mostly single, right? And I feel like a lot of them get hurt, and know what irritates me, right? With the whole hookup culture, okay? You basically meet up, okay? You pretend that you're in a relationship for a couple of hours, and then you go back to being strangers, and it's the weirdest thing, okay? Or maybe it's like a friends with benefits kind of vibe, okay? The whole thing's strange. I feel like it's always the girls, right? The boys don't really catch feelings quick, right? Girls do, I feel, right? The girls are always like, oh, but I could change him. Like, he's told me he doesn't want to be in a relationship and he's just like not ready to commit, but I'm going to change him. No, you're not, babe. Do you know what I mean? No, you're not. Please stop wasting your time. My pals are like, yeah, like, there's nothing serious. I'm like, but you literally fancy him though, so it kind of is, isn't it? Like, you're starting to like him a bit more than just a hookup now, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, I knew Connor 3 minutes and I was already like at his grand's grave. Do you know what I mean? Like, your gal moves fast. So that just wouldn't really happen with me, to be fair. I couldn't do it. So hats off to you that can. I just feel like single life. I feel like people that are single, right, and if you're single for a long time, right, you get a bit comfortable. Your last relationships probably give you trust issues. That's why you've been single for so long. And now when you do start liking someone, you go, nah, you just don't want to let that guard down. You're scared of getting hurt again. I feel like being single for a long time is a bad move. Okay? I'm talking about people that ghost, okay? If you're ghosting someone, you have got the biggest insecurity and the biggest like trust issues I've ever seen. Okay? And I know I have some ghosters in my life that do it all the time. And I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, just be open and honest, be vulnerable. Like, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Move on. I feel like if you don't ignore the first red flags, right, you'll be absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a cheat, for example, I feel like everyone's biggest fear is like being cheated on. So a cheat isn't just going to cheat. Okay? It's not just going to be the worst situation. They're going to be dropping red flags. Because people are silly and they leave little breadcrumbs, okay? You'll definitely know, okay? Maybe you've noticed a boy they're texting, a new boy on their Snapchat or whatever. I actually don't even want Snapchat anymore. I've only got Snapchat now because I've got all the memories on it. That's the only reason I have it. I'm not, if you're sending me a picture of your face, you're getting ignored. I'm sorry. If you want to text me, text me. I don't want to see your face. I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? Come on now. And I feel like going back to the hookup thing, you're like, I feel like I just wouldn't be in the zone. I'd be like, ah, get this person away from me. Like, stranger danger. Do you know what I mean? How are you all doing one night stands? I couldn't. It's just not for me. I'd be like, what is going on? Like, did your parents not tell you stranger danger? No. Freaks me out. I was actually speaking to my friend the other day, and obviously I'm going up for Halloween, okay? I was like, oh, you're actually, like, going to get drunk? And I was like, honestly, probably not. I just can't. It's just like, my brain just doesn't, okay? Honestly, wouldn't. But I could literally have a whole bottle of vodka, and I think I could drive home. I think I would pass that breathalyzer as well, because it's not about your tolerance to drink. And honestly, mine's just through the roof. Like, I feel like I could do about 20 vodka shots, and I feel like I could drive home. Watch me give you a little debrief on Halloween, and I'll go, I can't remember a thing. But anyway, usually I'm like, honestly, I think I'm totally fine. And I always remember everything, and I'm always alert. My pal's always like, oh, you just don't chill, like, just like, let go. See, when Molly says that she hates like having fun, that's literally me. I'm just like always aware. I'm like, where are they? Where's that? Who's that strange man? Do you know what I mean? I know who's around me and what's going on at all times. I need to be. The only time I'll get drunk, right, is at my dad's local, because he'll probably be there with me. If I'm there, it's because he's there. And I just feel like it's maybe because I feel like I'm safe with him. So I can be like, oh. And then at my 21st, I'm 23 now, maybe 24 in like 2 months. The last time I was actually drunk was my 21st. That was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. That's quite crazy, actually. But I think it's because it was like a party, like a function. So I had all my family there. I knew most people there. There was like a couple I didn't know. It was like plus ones. But I basically knew everyone there. So I'm like, I'm totally safe here, guys. But yeah, after, I just haven't. And there's been like certain situations that's happened and I've thought, no, I need to be switched on. I need to be ready to fight at any time. Do you know what I mean? Talking of pros and cons for a relationship, okay? I hope I convince you to be in a relationship because then we can double date. Let's go on a double date, okay? Find yourself a little cute wife. But my cons are basically if you're very immature, okay? You will need to, right? If you're like one that likes to go out and party and that, you will need to be thinking of your partner the whole time, okay? Be thinking, will they be annoyed at this? You need to be thinking of your partner's boundaries and your own, okay? Like, you need to be I'm talking about early stages, by the way, okay? Constantly thinking about what their boundaries are and also what yours are because I always treat people how I would like to be treated, okay? So if I don't like something, I'm not doing it. And I'll take on theirs. And if you're together, your boundaries are probably similar, like they're probably the same, okay? Because boundaries are basically common sense. Do you know what I mean? But at the start, maybe you could be a little bit tempted, new to the relationship scene, okay? Or maybe you're at the talking stage, trying things out. Who knows, okay? But yeah, I just feel like that's when you really need to be, and it's all about maturity levels, okay? Are you at the stage in life that you could be like, right, I'm happy enough to drop all my side and just, do you know what I mean? I'm all about the mains, okay? Also, you need to make sure you've picked the right person, okay? If you're picking someone with red flags, right? I'm not even just talking about like boundary red flags. Like, I'm not just talking about like, oh, they might have like loads of girls on the phone. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, they might have horrible trait red flags. Are they rude to like, I don't know, the bus driver? Do you know what I mean? Are they rude to people in a restaurant? Are they rude to their parents? Like, you need to really be picking up on these things, and that's why I absolutely love the talking stage. I think it's the best thing ever invented. Well done us. Was that Gen Z? I think so. Anyway, being around someone consistently, and you will be around your boyfriend or girlfriend all the time, you're going to start like picking up on their traits, whether you like it or not, basically. And if they're constantly being horrible or taking digs or speaking about like people in a negative way, you're going to start doing that too. And that turns you into a bad person. So relationships change you 100%, and it's up to you to decide who you go into a relationship with and whether that's a good person to be in a relationship with or not, because you're going to pick up on their traits. So that's on you, okay? Pros. We're going on to pros. So pros of a relationship is you've constantly got that supportive barrier. If you pick the right person, they're not a prick. Sorry. You're going to constantly have that stability and that emotional support. You're always going to have someone there, okay? And if you like boys, they really don't care about drama, okay? So if you tell them all the goss, they're telling no one. Do you know what I mean? You can just basically vent to them, and it's like talking to a brick wall. You can tell them the same story 3 times, and every time they'll act like they've never heard it because the first 2 times they weren't even listening. It's great. Anyway, also the opposite from the con, you can have someone that makes you into an amazing, better person. Like, they could bring out the absolute best in you. They could have traits like they're very like work driven. They could be really about their goals and their aspirations in life, and they could be really good financially and really good at saving, and you will inherit all that. Relationships are just like exciting, especially at the start, because there's so much like planning and there's so much like, oh my god, like what's going to happen, and you're learning so much about this new person. Relationships are just great. Love life. And obviously everything positive in a relationship could be negative if you're with the wrong person. Financially, if you're with someone that's not very good at handling their money or not very work driven, and they don't have any goals, and they kind of just sit at home, maybe they're up all night, sleeping all day kind of vibes, like that's just not someone that's going to make you into the best version of you. That's going to make you lazy. Like, being with someone like that's going to bring you down. You need someone that's going to lift you up and show you like your best version of you. If you've met them and they've been in a relationship and they've dropped that person for you, it's going to happen to you, babe. If you think, oh my god, I've changed him, like he left his girlfriend for me, how do you expect that one to end? Because it's going to end bad. Just a little heads up for you in case you weren't aware. If they've cheated on their partner for you, they're going to cheat on you. Probably for their ex, to be fair. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, you just need to be aware of your surroundings and don't be so naive. When you're looking for a partner as well, put your ego to bed for this one, okay? Your ego's not needed, okay? I don't want you to be like, oh, I need someone with like loads of money. I need him to be 6 foot. What is that, by the way? I've never looked at a boy going, I wonder how tall he is. I'm totally with like that if he wanted to, he would, right? But I'm with that like emotionally. Like if he wanted to text me, he would, okay? I'm not with the whole, if he wanted to buy me a Louis Vuitton bag, he would. Guys, he's 23, like what do you expect him to be doing? I feel like social media has completely ruined that whole aspect of what a boy should be like, and there's like the films and there's the fakeness on TikTok and on Instagram, and it's totally put girls, young girls especially, into this mindset of boys should do this, this and that, and they should be buying me things all the time. I just feel like it's important not to get too caught up in social media and what you see on TV and whatever else you're watching. Also just be aware about what you're consuming and what your kids are consuming, because it's a bad time out there, you know, it's scary out there. Another quote I hear all the time thrown about on TikTok is don't change for anyone. I'm like, there's going to be compromises and there's going to be stuff you need to change. If you're with someone for a long time, like me and Con have been together since I was 18 and I'm now 23, so I'm like, there's going to be a lot of changes, do you know what I mean? I went from a very immature little 18-year-old and I probably felt like I was the most mature gal to ever walk the earth, and I probably feel like that now as well. Your mindset's going to change, and I feel like people are always like, oh, like, if he doesn't want the same things as you, like, leave. And I'm like, yeah, but it's really, really hard, because you could meet someone, they go, I don't want kids, I don't want marriage, I don't want a dog, God forbid. If he says I don't want a dog, run for the hills. No, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're meeting him, right, if you're meeting like a 16-year-old boy, for example, right, and he's saying, I don't want this and that, he's just a young boy. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, if I had to give you any advice, I'd say don't start dating until you're in your 20s. Honestly. Because you're changing so much, and the first 2 years of me and Connor's relationship were rough. We were still very much trying to find our feet and figure out who we are, and you're taking so much information from social media and you go, right, what's my opinion here and what am I literally being fed? Do you know what I mean? You just need to be wary of what you're surrounding yourself with. If you tell your brain enough times something, it's going to start believing it. Do you know what I mean? So if you keep telling yourself, oh my god, he hates me because I've been going out with him for 2 years and we're not engaged. You're 22. Do you know what I mean? No, I think, how boring will your life be, right? Say, for example, you were together from your 20, right? You get to 22 and you're like, oh my god, like, we're not engaged yet, he obviously hates me, TikTok told me that he's not interested in me because we're not married in 2 years, right? Then, say you did get married at 22, okay? Then, you're together for another 10 years, you're in your 30s, you're 30, 32-ish, right? What's the next step here? Okay? Maybe you have a baby. I'm guessing, because you like to move fast, you probably already had one, but let's say you're in your 30s, you've had your first child, blah, blah, blah. 40s, what's next? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're literally going to be together for what is the rush here? Honestly, mind-boggling. Like, I don't think these people that are creating this content know how young their audience is, because I seen a girl who was 17 and was like that, yeah, we've been dating for 2 years, I'm not engaged yet. You're 17. You're barely even legally allowed to get married. Do you know what I mean? Another quote is, if your partner's not making you happy every day, then leave. Why is it their job? Like, I didn't know that was in the job role. You should be happy within yourself. You shouldn't need anyone else to be there to make you happy. You should just... And I feel like as well, another thing that I feel like I haven't spoke about enough, it's okay to not feel happy all of the time. I might actually do a separate video on this, because when I first realised this, I thought I am heavily depressed. Turns out, I just wasn't like ecstatic all the time, and I thought I was just kind of flat. I was just like fine. I wasn't really sad and I wasn't up here. I was kind of just here, and that is so normal. That's probably where you should be. If you're happy all the time, you would just get so used to it and you wouldn't feel the highs. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Hopefully. I don't know if that makes sense, but what I'm trying to say is, if you were happy all the time, you wouldn't really notice the highs in life because you're up there all the time, so you wouldn't really be like, oh my goodness, like, I'm so happy about this and blah blah. So it's quite good to have that balance, but I thought when I was at that balance, I thought I must be depressed because I don't feel anything. That's totally normal, babe. Totally fine. But yeah, I might actually do a wee deep dive into that, because that was quite mind-boggling. when I was flabbergasted. Who's watching traitors? Honestly, the best thing on TV at the moment. Anyway, also don't understand the big deal about a boyfriend playing PlayStation or Xbox. Never seen the big deal. Watching football, don't care. Even before we lived together, if he was coming over to me or staying at mine or whatever, honestly, play your Xbox, give me a break. Like, I'm just wanting to go on I don't need to be speaking to him all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, we could sit next to each other and just chill. He's doing his Xbox thing, and I'm doing my TikTok thing. Like, I feel like as long as you're still communicating and spending time together, and I mean quality time, I mean not just sitting next to each other and watching TV, because, yeah, you're spending time, but it's not quality time. Like, go out, go have a little walk, have a little lifey. Love having a little lifey. It's like my signature conversation. I feel like as long as you see, like, so people on TikTok will be looking at that, like young girls will be on TikTok looking, oh my god, if your boyfriend's playing Xbox, like, he hates you, and they'll be thinking, oh my god, my boyfriend hates me. Why are we posting these things on TikTok? Like, who are we actually trying to scare here? Anyway, that takes us on to my little tips and tricks, okay? So, first of all, quality time. I feel like really set aside the time. I mean, doing little cute dates, like going on, me and Connor basically every weekend will like go in the car and we'll just drive around and we'll just talk absolute shit. Doing little date nights, doing weekends away. Haven't got the facilities to do anything that's like going to cost money, that's absolutely fine. Download a little app on your phone, like play a little game or do a little like quiz night, like anything. You could literally do anything, like just to keep that spark there, because love is like a feeling, and if you're not upbringing that and not expressing that and not having fun together, not having like a wee giggle or whatever, it's going to die dim. And you're going to think, oh my god, the spark's gone. If all you're doing is lying in bed all day, eating takeaways in bed, that could be fun at the start. If that is a consistent thing, you're going to get really bored real fast. And you're going to be like, where's the spark? Like, we never have fun anymore. It's because you're not doing anything. Like, you need to keep that spark alive somehow. And yeah, quality time. That's a good one. My next tip is honestly probably one of the most important ones, privacy. Try telling 16-year-old me that any little inconvenience in my life, it was on Twitter. I was tweeting about everyone. It is respectfully nothing to do with the girls' group chat, what's going on in your boyfriend's relationship. Yes, you can give them a little idea of what's going on for maybe advice, but do not talk shit about your boyfriends or your girlfriends or whoever, okay? You're going to have a little rant now and then, but keep it respectful. And also think of, if he was talking to me like that with his friends, would I enjoy that? Probably not. Again, boundaries. You could literally ask anyone, right? I might say to maybe my mum, being like, oh, Callum's annoying me, done this. That's as far as it'll go. I actually remember getting my brows done, okay? Not from the gal now, Amy, love you. It was from someone else. This was a couple of years ago. And her boyfriend came in, she was doing it from her house. Her boyfriend came in and he was like, do you need me to like nip to the bank or whatever for you? And she was like, yeah, blah, blah. He left and she instantly went, oh my god, like this size, his nose gives me the book. Did you see how big his nose was? Sorry, honestly, they have a kid, they've been together for ages, right? I'm like, I'm sorry? Honestly, this must have been about 4 years ago, but that just stuck with me. I was just kind of like, I was just baffled by the whole situation. I thought, one, my eyes were closed, so no. But two, honestly, if my boyfriend spoke about me like that, and he was dead nice, he was dead sweet, he was asking like, can I do this for you? Do you need me to do that while you're like working with a client, whatever? And she was like, yeah, do this and this, blah, blah, blah. I gave him a pure list. And he went on his way. And I was just like, and he literally just finished work or whatever. And I thought, bless his wee soul, he probably just wants to chill. And you're sending him loads of jobs and speaking about him behind his back. And obviously, she didn't really know me. Like, I'd only been there a few times. I'm like, could you imagine what she's saying to her actual best pals? Like, that is terrifying, poor soul. What a shame on the boy hope as well. So I think it's important as well, like, if you are going to keep your friends in your relationship, you be as well tell them the good as well, not just the bad, because if you only tell them the bad, they're going to say, end it, break up with him, like, off you go, you deserve better, know all that, the typical stuff. Unless it's obviously, like, abusive, I'll be, like, phoning some sort of, like, women's aid. I'll be on the phone there being like, come help this poor woman. But I'm talking if he's, like, annoying you, maybe he's not doing, like, housework or something. I'm not going to be like, oh my god, leave him, like, you deserve so much. Or was I psycho because I moaned at him about this? Yeah, maybe. Or I'd be like, yeah, you were psycho, but I would have done the exact same. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just about being fair, and I feel like keep things private as much as you can. you don't need to tell every single bicker. Like, if you were to tell your pals every single little bicker you had, when they're reading it, it's going to sound a lot worse than the actual situation. Do you know what I mean? And you don't want them to only think that your relationships is so negative. Do you know what I mean? I think just keep it positive. Nobody needs to know about what's going on with your baby daddy on Facebook, but keep doing it, please, because I absolutely love it. Like, don't keep it hidden, but just keep it private. Does that make sense? Hope so. Moving on. Next one is reassurance. Even after the big 5 years, I feel like I am a gal of mood swings. Like, my period hits me hard. So if you even change your tone with me, I'm going to be convinced you hate me. I'll need that reassurance. That's absolutely fine. And your partner should be able to give you that with no hesitation. Like, it shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be like, oh my god, you don't trust me, or oh my god, like, you think I'm losing feelings, blah blah. Like, reassurance is an absolute need, and it goes both ways. Even talking about your future or whatever, that's like the reassurance that we need. We don't need the I'm gonna love you forever. Do you know what I mean? Just like reassurance, like, oh my god, like when we get a house, they like, oh, I can't wait till we get a house. And just talking about, I feel like talking about the future and talking about future goals and future plans is the biggest reassurance you can give. And if you give it without even being asked, you're winning. Absolutely winning. I feel like another big thing is not even just being like in a relationship, but being like best friends, right? Me and Connor are literally besties. We do everything together. And I think that's really, really good. And I feel like we built that before the relationship. So we were like friends for like 3 months before, because he took ages to ask me. 3 months I had to wait. Are you joking? Anyway, so we actually met in August, and from August we were like inseparable. Like, we were together every single day. And I know they say don't meet up every single day. As long as you're still making time with your friends, and you're still making time with your family, and you're still making time for yourself, like hobbies and all that stuff, right? And you're still like career driven and all that, I don't see the problem with seeing your boyfriend for a couple hours every day. Sorry, shoot me. Do you know what I mean? Cuff me and lock me away. I don't care. Like, I just think that's fine. Am I delusional? Don't know. I have literally seen Connor every single day for the past 5 years. Over 5 years. I say see him every day. Sorry, who's going to stop me? I feel like when you're friends with your partner as well, right, you can literally do anything together. You have inside jokes, everything's funny, like, you could like, oh, honestly, you see when it's like people, oh, you know what I see on TikTok as well, it's like, if your boyfriend swears at you, like, he's not the one. You should hear how me and Connor speak to each other. Like, we are hilarious. We are always taking the absolute mick out of each other. And see, if I was giving him and he couldn't give back, I just couldn't. Like, what a boring relationship that would be. I just don't see, like, what do you do for fun? Another one that's a bit taboo. Me and Connor will literally call each other fat. I'll see him eating, like, he can have his tea and go for a wee, like, dessert pot in the fridge, and I'll go, oh, what a fatty. Who cares? Do you know what I mean? He knows I don't think he's fat, and if he calls me, I know it's just a joke. Like, I feel like I just feel like, honestly, my pals have actually been in this house and been like, do you actually speak to her like that? I'm like, yes, we do, because it's hilarious, and I wouldn't change it for the world. If I was with someone, they're like, oh babe, like, I'll help you get your coat on, and oh, I'll tie your shoelaces for you. Ew, no, slag me off, please. I just feel like social media has put a very unrealistic view on healthy, happy relationships. Like, just because that's what TikTok's telling you, that doesn't actually need to be your mindset. Like, be your own person, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to go now, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully that has gave you a little clearer outlook of how to get a happy and healthy relationship. Have any questions, let me know. Remember, in the description there is a form that you could give me some anonymous questions if you like. You could follow me on all my socials, they're all linked down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching, and if you're listening, rate and review. Yeah, send me a little cheeky comment. And I'll see you next one. Keep it sassy, keep it classy, and I'll see you on Sunday. Love ya, bye.